Hi everyone, in this video, we're gonna tackle the discrete probability distribution. But before anything else, let me introduce myself first. My name is Jasmine Mabe. I'm a Bisamis from BSc 2K and this subject is Math 233 or Engineering Data Analysis. What is discrete probability distribution? Discrete probability distribution is a formula, table, or graph that gives the possible values of x and the probability p of x associated with each value of x. So, meron kasi tayong dalawang types ng random variable. We have discrete random variable and we have continuous random variable. And itong probability distribution na to, dinidescribe niya yung random variable na discrete. Yung discrete random variable kasi, they are variables that assume countable values. So, dito sa discrete probability distribution, makikita natin yung random variable x natin and then yung corresponding values nun. We have, for example, here, we have x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, and so on and so forth. So, ito yung magiging formula natin. And then, dito sa baba naman, we have f of x, yung probability ni x. And then next, we have f of x sub 1, probability ng value ng x sub 1. And then we have f of x sub 2, f of x sub 3, and until f of x sub n. So, ito yung formula na ginagamit natin or yung table in discrete probability distribution. So, para mas maintindihan natin ang discrete probability distribution, let's try to solve this problem. A biased coin is tossed 3 times. It is weighted so that probability of heads equals 2/3 and probability of tails equals 1/3. Let x be the random variable which assigns to each point in the sample space the number of heads. Find the probability distribution for x. Dito sa problem na to, we will find for the probability distribution for x. So, ngayon, yung given sa problem nito, we have a biased coin. Yung biased coin, ang probability ng bawat sample point nun ay hindi equal. For example, here, di ba, there is already given probability. Yung probability daw na makakakuha tayo ng head ay 2/3 and then ng tail ay 1/3. So, sa fair coin kasi, di ba, we have the probability of head which is 1/2 and then probability of tail is 1/2. So, dito, they are not equal. Mas likely yung heads. So, ngayon, ang una natin gagawin ay kukunin natin yung sample space ng problem na to. So, sa pagtotoss ng biased coin 3 times, ano ba yung mga pwede nating makuha? So, first, we have HHH. Next, ano pa yung pwede? We can have HTH, HHT, HTT. Next, we have THT, TTH, THH, and TTT. So, ito yung magiging sample space natin. Ito yung mga pwedeng makuha natin na outcome. So, next, mag-a-assign na tayo ng random variable. But before that, basahin muna natin uli yung problem. Let x be the random variable which assigns to each point in the sample space the number of heads. So, ibig sabihin, ang kailangan nating bilangin ay yung number of heads dun sa sample point natin para makapag-assign tayo ng value sa random variable natin. So, first, HHH. So, ilan ba yung number of heads dito? We have 3. Next, sa HTH, we have 2. In HHT, we have 2. In HTT, we have 1. In THT, we have 1. In TTH, we have 1. And then in THH, merong 2 head. And then dito sa TTT, merong 0 head. So, yan ay magiging values ng random variable natin. So, sulat lang natin, we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. So, meron tayong values for our random variable. So, the next step, gagawa na tayo ng table. So, dito, sulat natin yung random variable natin, which is x. And then, yung probability ni x. And then, ano ba yung mga values ng random variable natin? We have 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then, so, lagyan ko lang ng line. So, yan. So, ito yung magiging table natin for this problem or for our probability distribution. So, ngayon, ang kukunin na natin ay yung probability ng bawat value. So, for the first value, we have 0. Kukunin na natin yung probability of 0. Ano ba dito sa sample point natin ang may 0 number of head? Di ba we have TTT? So, kukunin na natin yung probability of TTT. For the probability of TTT, ang kukunin natin ay yung probability ng bawat isa dito. First, yung probability of tail. We have 1/3. So, ngayon, gagawin natin ay pagmumultiply natin silang tatlo. Kasi, dito sa sample point natin, ang pwede nating makuha ay tail, and tail, and tail. Kaya, multiply natin siya. So, 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. That will be equal to 1/27. So, meron na tayong value for our first probability, which is f of 0. So, ngayon, sulat na natin 1/27. So, ito na yung first probability natin. Next, we have f of 1. For the f of 1, ano ba yung mga sample point natin na merong only one number of head? First, we have probability of HTT. Next, we have THT. And then, last, we have TTH. So, ito na yung magiging mga kukunin natin ng probability. So, sulat lang natin, P, H, T, T. So, dito, ang mangyayari, pag-a-addin natin siya. Kasi, in our random variable 1, ibig sabihin nun, merong tatlong way kung saan pwede tayo makakuha ng one number of head. Pwedeng HTT, pwedeng THT, or pwedeng TTH. Kaya, pag-a-addin lang natin silang tatlo. So, probability of THT and probability of TTH. So, ayan. So, ngayon, kunin na natin yung probability ng bawat isa. For the probability of HTT, alam ba yung probability of head? We have 2/3 times T, which is 1/3. Next, we have 1/3. And then, next, we have probability of THT. For the probability of tail, we have 1/3. Next, we have yung probability of head, that's 2/3. And then, we have 1/3. Plus, next yung TTH. So, for the probability of tail, we have 1/3 times probability of tail, we have 1/3 times probability of head, that's 2/3. So, yan. So, ngayon, i-multiply na natin sila. So, 2/3 times 1/3 times 1/3, that's 2/27. Next, 1/3 times 2/3 times 1/3, that's 2/27. And then, 1/3 times 1/3 times 2/3, that's 2/27. Ngayon, pag pinag-add natin pang tatlo, we will get 6/27. So, ito na yung magiging probability natin for our value 1. So, sulat na natin, 6/27. Next, kunin na natin yung probability of 2. So, burahin lang natin. For the probability of 2, so ano ba yung mga sample point natin na makakakuha tayo ng two number of heads? We have probability of HTH. Next, we have probability of HHT. And we have THH. So, ngayon, sulat lang natin siya uli as P of HTH plus P of HHT and P of THH. So, yan na. And then, again, kunin lang natin yung probability ng bawat isa. For the HTH, yung probability ng head ay 2/3 times T, that's 1/3, times H, 2/3, plus probability of HHT, we have 2/3 times 2/3 times 1/3. And last, we have probability of THH. We have 1/3 times the probability of head, that's 2/3. And the probability of head again is 2/3. Ngayon, pag-add na natin sila, 2/3 times 1/3 times 2/3, that's 4/27. And then pag inad natin to dito, we have 2/3 times 2/3 times 1/3, that's 4/27. And then we have 1/3 times 2/3 times 2/3, that's 4/27. So, pag kinuha natin yung value nito, we will get, so dito na lang, we will get 12/27. So, ito na yung magiging probability natin for the value 2. So, sulat na natin. So, last, meron na tayong tatlo, diba? So, dito na tayo sa probability of 3. So, for the 3 heads, kukunin na natin yung probability of HHH. So, sa probability of HHH, so, dyan, ang probability of head ay 2/3 times probability of head again, that's 2/3, and the probability of head is 2/3. So, pag pinag-multiply natin, that's 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3, that's 8/27. So, ito na yung magiging answer natin, 8/27. Ito na yung magiging probability natin for 3. Pag pinag-add natin tong lahat ng values na to or ng probability na to, we have 1/27 plus 6/27 plus 12/27 plus 8/27. Ang magiging equal dyan ay 27/27 or 1. And kapag pinag-add nyo sila and 1 yung nakuha nyo, that's a sign na correct yung nagawa nyong probability distribution. So, that is our final answer for our problem number 1, and that's all. So, that's how you solve the discrete probability distribution.